Welcome to the Homeownership podcast presented by Movementum Realty, located in Hanover, Massachusetts. This series covers all things real estate and the best practices for buying, selling, and owning property. Now here is your host, Sean Maloney.
Welcome to episode 210, Choosing the Right Price When Selling a Home. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me this week. This week I want to talk to you about one of the most important decisions you're ever going to make when it comes to selling a home, and that is setting the price. Let's break it down here today, and let's talk about some of the pitfalls that sellers often fall into when they're trying to set the price. First things first, let's set the idea and expectations. When setting a price for a home, the market truly dictates the right price. Something known as a CMA, which is a comparative market analysis, takes what they call comparables, which are homes that are like yours that have sold in the marketplace, and compares them to each other to dictate a price that would be best set in order to have an original offering on that home. Now, I use a couple different keywords there. Original offering, the comparative market, the comparables. So the comparables are the houses that are compared to us. The comparable market analysis is taking all of them and putting them in something. And then when I say the most logical starting price, right, it's because we want to set a price that attracts people, but also that doesn't give the home away from the beginning. The good news is setting a price too low is risky, but slightly less risky than too high, which attracts many buyers. Most of the time, it's hard to sell a home for too little due to the increased excitement of buyers and the possibility of a bidding war. But that said, if you start too low, you may never know the top. What do I mean by that? Well, everyone has this weirdness to them where they don't really have like a scientific measure or mathematical measure. But some people say, oh, I'll go $5,000 over. Some people, oh, I'll go 10. Some people, I'll go 70. They don't often have a understanding of why they go over asking, other than the idea of to try to win out that bidding war, right? They try to win versus others. That said, if you had started at a number 300 and hoped to sell for 400, how many people are going to come in on a $300,000 house and say to themselves, in order to win this, I need to go to 400, right? They might think 320. They might think 315. They might think 350. They might think 375. But 400, most of us can admit, is a stretch, other than if it went a couple rounds of bidding and slowly pushed itself up. So a properly priced home will attract a lot more buyers that are on the market, and the buyers who interact with it, they'll understand that a properly priced home has a lot of people attracted to it. So then we know that chances are, if we're properly priced and the market's right, we're going to receive multiple offers and end up with a higher sale price. So this means, yeah, you put it on for a certain price, but what it sold for was different. Now, some people might say to you, well, bidding wars are only around during the best of times. I have been in real estate now 14 years. I came in during the whole problem, like the whole slowdown in the market. No one knew what to do. Everything was going on. And the truth was, there was still times where bidding wars existed. Now, notice you say still times versus all the time. But that's because oftentimes people have trouble adjusting to the prices. No sellers ever like to hear that their home isn't worth what it used to be worth yesterday, especially if they paid for it yesterday and it's worth less than they paid for it. That can be really painful to people. They like to know that they have gained equity and gained price. So when we're selling houses and the market is trending down, as real estate agents, it's very difficult to educate them fast enough to make them move in the right direction. Sometimes beating everybody to the bottom of the price actually means you sell for the top price in a downward trending market. Now, I can't say that's every time. Now, realize there's all different trends in marketplaces. We live here, southeastern Massachusetts, very strong marketplace. So even when things trend down, they don't trend down as far as some places because we have so many investors sitting on the sidelines waiting to invest locally that there seems to be almost like a catch fall there, like almost like in the circus when you fall off the tightrope and you land into a net. We almost seem to have this net, which is all these investors and wealthy people locally kind of not price fixing, but fixing the prices when they do fall, because there's a lot of people that'll be attracted to low price homes in southeastern Massachusetts. Now, every market's different, every market reacts different, but one thing that we always know is that properly priced home will attract the most people. One of the things that I want to clear the air on is the argument that the realtor or the real estate agent or that the client gets to choose the price of the home. Well, they get to choose it, yes. Choosing it is not always the best idea versus arriving to it. What I mean by that is doing a comparative market analysis and looking at the data is the best way to price the home. Oftentimes, people get a house versus home mentality. What do I mean by this? A house is a building. It's a thing with a roof, siding, windows, doors, kitchen, baths, beds, living room, so on and so forth. A home is a place that we make out of a house. It's that spot where our kids had their first birthday. It's the spot where the first kiss happened. It's the spot where the swing set played with the grandkids. It's the spot where you used to make your famous soup. It's the spot all around that exists in your head but does not exist in a buyer's head. Because when buyers show up, they come to look at a house. When sellers are there, they're thinking about someone buying their home. As a seller, the sooner you can get that house mentality and think, if I was looking at this as another person who didn't have all these great memories here and all this amazing times, what would I think of it? Is the door loose? Is the paint off? Is the front chipping, peeling? Is there grass? Is there a great improvement? Or is the place in need of love? Don't ever take any of them as a negative. Take them all as a pricing strategy. Price it correctly and you're guaranteed to get the most money possible for your home. If you're looking for someone who's an expert at pricing and you're looking for someone to help you sell a home, reach out to us over here at Momentum Realty. We'd love to have one of our Move mentors reach out to you and help mentor and guide you in choosing the right price to sell your home for the most amount of money possible. Thanks for listening this week. Make sure to pound that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I look forward to talking to you next week. Thank you.